Namaskaram and a very good morning. Today we are going to discuss about some internal distractions. One of the aspects of mom session is to get you ready for the whole day, every single day. So over and above how we are fighting the external distractions, how we are removing a lot of them, there are 2, 3 internal distractions which will consume your internal bandwidth. The problem with this is it happens at a near subconscious level, which means there is a good chance that some of you may not be knowing it or may not be knowing the impact of it. Okay, so the original concepts are a bit deeper. These are psychological aspects, but for you to understand, I kind of want to use simple English so that you'll be getting it. But the underlying problem is something different. So the first one in this context or in this regard, I think you should be able to see the screen here. Yeah. Let me write the words and then I'll explain. First is dissatisfaction. I'm so critical about this that I can actually call dissatisfaction as a disease. Now, you can always think about getting dissatisfied regarding various things, as most of the time your own performance. But in general, if you look at it, dissatisfaction is a disease. So it is something which you should always look at with a certain sense of criticality. Do not accept it on face value. If you're getting dissatisfied constantly and continuously, it's not something normal. Staying in a state of dissatisfied mode is not something normal. So, in your internal thought process, to constantly get to that point, please understand you have to work on it. On similar lines, there's something else which is called something else syndrome. Your mind always tricks you into believing that something else should be happening, something else should have been happening. Let's say you started auditing. Now you start reading it, but in your mind it says probably I should have started FR. Or within FR, you started India's 115. Now within FR, your mind constantly says you should be reading something else. So constantly, instead of focusing on what is happening and what should happen, it constantly makes you or forces you believe that something else should be happening. So these are all escapist phenomena. Now, why would your mind like to escape? Because when you accept something, you have to accept the load. Now, when you let's say you go to the gym, until that point it is fine. But when you actually start lifting, the weights, it's very hard and heavy on you. So you'll come out with various excuses. Now, one of the common things which people always have is the risk of injury. Okay, if I lift heavy weights, I might get injured. Or today I did not eat breakfast properly. Or today I have something else. So constantly you won't put yourself into the zone where you have to put in the actual amount of effort. You keep thinking about various factors which will give or reduce the quantum of work to be done. It applies both for the physical level and also for the mental level. So this whole cycle, I would say the whole AFM cycle, starting from 21st to 31st, that year, please make sure you put in enough effort to understand if you're bothered by this. And I would say, please note them down as well. You have to remove these two aspects. Otherwise, every given hour, you'll be end up losing at least, I would say 10, 15 minutes into this. Even the approach, let's say for a particular chapter, you are preparing in a certain way and suddenly your mind doesn't accept that process and it thinks it should be done in some other way. So for every single thing, if you have contradicting thoughts, it's like understand this in this manner. you're trying to move forward, and then your mind is asking you to go into the reverse gear. You're trying to take a right, and then the indicator is showing you how to take a left. So constantly there are two people living inside you. That is what is dissatisfaction, right? When everything is harmonious, it's satisfaction. When there are two contradicting thoughts constantly running inside you, dissatisfaction. It doesn't matter if you take left or right. Take a side and stick to that. When you're taking right, don't think about left. This is very, very important. And something else syndrome is far more dangerous because every time, every given moment, you expect the world or you expect something else to happen, something else to happen, something else to happen because this is happening, but you want something else to happen. So, if this is persisting, please have a check on this, please have a tab on this, and you definitely have to work on this particular aspect. So this is where I wanted to bring your attention onto this. More of this, I just want to get some responses in terms of how you normally handle the scenarios and what happens. I want to hear your perspective in this regard. So first thing we're calling it dissatisfaction disease. Second thing, something else improve. In these two aspects, what is your perspective on this? Yeah. Any thoughts on this? Understood what is being discussed?
So sometimes I try to shift the irrational thoughts with rational thoughts,
Hmm.
but it is possible sometimes only.
Can you give an example of what you mean by irrational and what is rational?
Okay, so for example, the example you give, like if we are doing FR, we want to go to DT. So it's a irrational thought that you have want to do DT when you are doing FR. But
Hmm.
then I change it to rational as if like DT has its own time.
Right.
It's given its own time. वो
Hmm.
तब हो जाएगा. Right now, focus on FR. So that's how I do.
Fair enough. So you actually get this, right? So you mean you're actually getting this?
Mhm.
Can you go a bit deep into this? Like what actually happens? Let's say you're studying a particular target given for financial reporting, and how does this thought enter when you're already fixated on completing a particular subject? On what basis this thought even enters?
Mostly when either I'm not matlab, satisfied with the output, it
Good.
usually happens at that time,
Hmm. Hmm.
or else I'm exhausted with the idea of starting.
Right.
Mm.
Very good. That's fantastic insight, Kasha. So basically, this is what actually happens. It is not because of the original decision which leads to this something else syndrome. It is only because of the improper execution. Decision is never the problem. Execution is the problem. Because when you take the decision, it's a well thought out, thorough decision to do something in a particular way. But when it's not reflecting the way it should happen, your mind finds a different phenomenon. It doesn't focus on helping you work on financial reporting. Instead, it kinds of shift the focus from financial reporting to taxation, so that your mind always wavers in between, so that it doesn't have to take anything, neither financial reporting, neither taxation. It just shifts its attention from here and there. So that's very good insight. Good, Harsha. Anyone? Anything else in terms of what we have just discussed? Do you experience anything similar? If yes, please share it. I need a couple of you to talk about this. It will be helpful for you and everyone else. I want rest of you to switch on your cameras. See, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. is the most important hour of my day. James, I have reasons to believe that because especially when my work is largely qualitative and happens at the mindset level, I only have to think. So sometimes I believe that I can think better from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. instead of the whole day, the 10 hours. So that's how I value this particular hour. I call it the golden hour of the day. So when this happens, I want to ensure that it is really productive and efficient. So not all the time you're expected to interact, but whenever there is a need to interact, I expect you to jump in and open up, because all this we have 5 to 7 minutes of interaction time. So we have, let's say, 5 minutes. I need two more responses in this regard. So what Harsha brought it up is relevant, and yeah, that's an important insight. Who else faces this or anything in this line, which is reducing your efficiency for that matter, where you sit to study but you're not actually studying?
Sir,
Yes, Karthik.
while studying, the possibility of not completing the syllabus is making me not to concentrate properly, sir.
Thank you. It's a very, very, I would say, common phenomena. Because, it's interesting to know that as much as we say efforts are important, we are constantly result driven. For any human, unless and until we know that the effort which we are investing today would result into some kind of result tomorrow, we don't like to invest. The simplest way is money, right? Let's look at how we would invest money. If I have to invest money, whether it's 7% in fixed deposit, or let's say 50 to 100% in real estate, or 30% in stock market, or 15% in mutual funds, in any given scenario, 7% to 50%, you should definitely know that by investing X amount of money, you need to get X amount of return. The same thing applies for time. I call it ROTI, return on time invest. So when you want to invest time, you definitely want a clear-cut return. So for some of us, it's established. It's established in a certain way. For some of us, it is not very clear what is the tangible outcome of this. Now, for me, I look at it in a different sense. Let's say, what's the use of doing a session like this? Because this is a common business question which uh, most of my fellow entrepreneurs ask, because entrepreneurs are supposed to do regular mainstream YouTube videos. Now, this is not done for the YouTube. This is done for you. When I say YouTube video, that is not done for any individual. It is done to speak to a large mass of people. Now, that is what is required. Now, comparing this with what you're going through, when you're talking about syllabus completion, syllabus cannot be completed at once. Syllabus cannot be completed at once. We have to understand the term syllabus. What is syllabus? Now, syllabus in financial reporting is 17 chapters. Syllabus in AFM is 15 chapters. Syllabus in advanced audit and professional ethics is 19 chapters. Now, when you want to complete the syllabus, it's not like you sit and syllabus is completed. You have to complete the syllabus in certain parts. When you're sitting to study a particular chapter, yes, of course, you're completing syllabus, a part of the syllabus. Would the whole syllabus be completed within time? That depends on how well you're completing this part of the syllabus. Let's say there are 10 parts. How do you complete all the 10 parts in 10 days? When you complete one part in 1 day. Now, how do you complete that one part in 1 day when you do not bother about how you would complete the remaining 9 parts in 9 days? Today is the first part, today is the nth part, you complete it on the nth day. That is exactly how the module works. That is exactly how it works. So every given time, it is extremely common on our minds part to keep, giving these questions. Again, when I give such certain examples in terms of how I process things. I focus on fundamentals. What are the fundamentals? You can only do something about anything in the next few minutes. I look at 15-minute margin. That's it. Your state of mind can operate only for 15 minutes. After that, it changes. Let's say you're extremely enthusiastic to study now, and then 6 to 7 goes great, and then something happens at 7 o'clock. Something just happens. You flip. Your mind flips. So I don't know. That's a possibility, right? So for me, at least, I believe I have reasonable control over the next 50 minutes. Like this is called ball to ball. Some people play over to over. Some people play match to match. I believe in ball to ball. I don't know the next over. It could be a 160-kilometer Yorker coming from Bumrah. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to play it. So you don't know the next thought, right? You understand this. Your game is all about you're a batsman. You have a bat, and your thoughts are balls. You keep hitting them, you keep hitting them, and you keep defending them. Sometimes you hit them, you defend them. It's a mental, psychological game. So, what is the most conventional way to play it? You just hang on to the crease. You just stay there. Depending on the ball, you play. There are certain thoughts. I think, Harsha, you have the habit of jotting on your thoughts, right? When we first discussed, I think Harsha, it is for her, she gets a lot of thoughts bombarding her. Now, you have to do something to accommodate them, but you cannot think about them. So that's when I just suggested her to, whenever the thought comes in, just jot them down, jot them down. That's it. So coming to the conclusion of the question, it's important for us to understand that at any given point of time, you're flowing 1 hour at a time. Okay, 1 hour at a time, 1 hour at a time. Only just 1 hour, 50 minutes. So that 50 minutes, don't let anything impact this 50 minutes. Don't let your tomorrow affect today. On the other hand, today will affect tomorrow. Tomorrow won't affect today because tomorrow does not exist. This is one way of understanding it, or this is the only way of understanding it. If you're not understanding it, probably you're not ready for the world, you're not fit for the world. That's how it is. You get it, you get it. You don't get it, it takes longer time, and the world will wait for you to get it, and then you get on board. And this is the battle. The battle is not about memorizing a few chapters. This is a game. Any given exam, it's a mindset game, guys. Please understand. Don't get confused with the 6 modules or 6 papers. Any given exam is this. This is the battle. Otherwise, everything is in simple English. You just have to write a few sentences and solve a few problems and take a few MCQs. What is there in this? I've been doing it all throughout your school, right? But it's been 20 years. These are only 3 formats, right? Answer writing, problem solving, and MCQs. That's it. Now, Angrezi changes between X, Y, Z. But what is the real battle? Knowing that you'll clear for sure for 100%. Like school pass probability is 100%. Now, here fail probability is more than 90%. This time, results will be very, very, very squeezed. So, knowing that you're going to fail, how would you prepare? Now, the default assumption is when a particular institute gives you 10% result, knowing that you know that you're going to fail. Now you have to put in 3-4 months. Now the next level, as an entrepreneur, for every entrepreneur, uh, the success rate of any startup is 0.0001%. Like it's not even 1%. 99.9% of startups fail. Now, how would you put your life at stake, knowing that it's a game of failure? That's what is entrepreneurship. It's not about the product which you build and the services or become secondary. Your ability to play a game, knowing that you're not going to win. Well, that gives the ability. If you see, I'm simplifying this. You get it, a lot of stress will be gone. Let's say 3 months down the lane or 1 month down the lane for inter and final students. There is a possibility that you might fail. Let's accept that you might fail. For now, just because you think I don't want to think about failure, that is not exactly how failure works or not. Law of attraction is not so instant. You just think I don't have to worry about that. That's not our law of attraction. Let's say you're going to fail after 3 months. Now let's accept this, start and work on this. There is a possibility of this. Now, what are you worried about? Now, what are you worried about? Do you have something better in life for the next 3 months to do? Like if you're worried about, if you're worried about your time investment, what is that huge project which you are working upon, which is life changing? The way I see it, this is the only life changing project you're working upon. And this is the best project you're working upon. Why are you worried about the opportunity cost of time? There is no opportunity cost. This is the biggest opportunity. When you're already working on the biggest project of your life, why are you worried? And if you think something could happen for sure, if you want to do, see, I'm telling you, none of you would do something where there is 100% result certainty. Nobody joined a pass guarantee program or result assurance program for BCom. We never had one graduate who wanted to clear BCom with us. Right? People don't do that. If you know that you're going to clear for sure, there are a lot of exams which you clear for sure. There is a reason why I chose this. The exact reason is you want to do something which you cannot do, or you want to do something which you may not do. You signed up for that. So that at a macro level, don't get confused with it at the micro level. Either accept that, okay, there's always a possibility of failure, like just like any other, just look at it like the match. There's the why you play because there's possibility of failure. Only one team wins. Any game, any sport, only one team wins. Only one team. That's it. Now, will I lose? Should I lose? That is not the question. That you play. You just play the game. That's it. And whether you will win or lose, there's something else who will evaluate. So it's none of your business. So don't let the same thought ruin you. Now staying in a ecosystem like this, because if you're too self-absorbed, if you're too self-obsessed with your own thoughts, you cannot access what else is happening here. There are fantastic people around. You're losing access to that because you're self-obsessed. Don't become narcissistic and focus heavily on what's going on. Something goes on, some nonsense goes on. That's I'll tell you when it is important for you to be reflective, not right now. When it's a reflective, giving too much importance to your own thoughts, then what else happens? There comes a time that has to happen. No, definitely that has to happen because that is when you start influencing the world. Now you don't have enough bandwidth or content or intent to influence the world. So don't pay too much attention to what runs. If something is disturbing you, just note it down or bring it out and acknowledge. Don't do anything. Just acknowledge, and that would seal the deal for you. Okay, so I just wanted you to ponder upon this. So different days we have different agendas. Today, these are the two things: dissatisfaction, the disease, and something else syndrome. Be aware of this. Be careful about it. If this is happening continuously, constantly, try to address it yourself. Or if it's not happening, always I'm up for a conversation at any given point. Okay. So with this background, I want to Rajdeep to take over. Rajdeep, we are here.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Rajdeep.
So,
Rajdeep, just one thing. I think after the write the 2 to 5 exam, uh, I probably they can take a break for 1 hour or so. I think I want to spend some good amount of time reflecting upon what has happened because studying one more chapter, yeah, that is there. What is when is the earliest time possible for you to join, Rajdeep? If at all we want to have a call pretty early today, early then probably 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. What works for you?
so today I'm actually joining my new office.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
that is something which I was actually concerned. So that
Hmm.
is,
Hmm.
um, I I don't know like today how much early I can join, but I'll try joining
Hmm.
from home also. Not a problem.
Fair
That
enough.
is.
Fair enough.
Uh,
So what I'll do is, Rajdeep, I'll make them do the EMT, which they have to do the after the exam. I'll make them do the EMT. When you're ready, the non-subject aspects of this, I'll sort it out. The subject-specific interventions and the way forward probably will wait for you. That's okay. Even if you join with the regular, time, that's fine. But because I want to put in more time for the analysis than reading, because this is the outcome, the objective of this particular bootcamp is how to learn. So how to
correct.
learn with a particular speed. I think that is largely achieved. Now we'll get into the technicalities, and tomorrow we will be starting with AFM. Suresh will be taking it, and
Is everyone together or what? I guess there's this short circuit or something happening. Is everyone in Hyderabad? Just asking. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. So we can continue since before Sir's joining. So today's target will be, as you guys know, we have updated few things. We need to complete financial instrument today before the exam that you can give, and also if you can do the operating segments and EPS. I know it is a bit. I mean, it will be lengthy for you guys. You might skip it. You might skip it for now, but you need to do it for the exam. There are few other chapters which I uh, didn't mention here, but you guys need to do because this is 50 hours, so we have to have a time constraint with it. But honestly, you need to. I mean, I considered revenue as an option because I found it difficult, but it is not for that. You can do it. Um, uh, Index 115 is there, Index 24 is there. Presentation of financial statement and conceptual framework is what is left for you guys to do. That will be done. Make sure you give an exam from 2 to 5 as sir said, and then do the AMT. Post that, try and do the remaining chapters, which is event after reporting period, which will take hardly about 15 to 20 minutes of your time, and then fair value measurement, which is also similar. I mean, which is also very, if you do two to three sums, you will understand how thing goes, and it is like it is very. It will not have very variety of questions, and it will definitely come in questions to confuse people because people generally skip fair value measurement. So after today, there will be let people join in because I need to actually. So there will be. I will repeat also. Take care. Let's just them come in. So after today, there will be a. You will be starting from AFM tomorrow, as sir said. However, um I mean AFM is very short. I mean, it's not lengthy as in terms of number of chapters in it. So what you guys can do is take an hour or two to do all the chapters which actually is left for this from these 50 hours. Make sure you consider those. I mean, those 1 to 2 hours to complete those which are not done yet. Plus, you consider those chapters when you're doing. See, AFM is over, then there is audit and law, which is there. So do those chapters which you find tricky and which is actually difficult, and you need some more time to complete them. Since and I am saying this only for those who have five subject to give or six subject to give in this attempt. For those who are actually giving three or two subjects, they need to, I mean, they actually have ample time to revise rigorously in both the subjects. I mean, they can complete AFM and I mean, the next 5 days, and then again take 10 days to complete FR, and then 10 days to SFM, like whatever. Like they have a lot of time to do that, not a problem. However, people who are having limited amount of time, people who are having five papers, as I'm telling you, whenever you're doing a subject, whenever you're completing a subject, take it up and do revision of that subject in between the slot that you have for the other subject, so that you don't forget what you have done before. Just right, because we need to just right before, because we need to understand one thing that we people forget. I mean, we have a retention power of maybe 72 hours of the syllabus which we have done, which we are doing it newly. So you might be thinking after reading the question that you have already done that, but once you solve it, you'll understand that where actually I am. That is very important. So till now, I just wanted to understand from you guys, from each of you guys, how are you feeling till date after completing 4 days and today being the last day of FR. Can we please start with Anurag? Just
Yes, sir.
your yeah.
Sir, actually, means I am feeling better, like confident in the sense that I'm reading for the first time. But since you have given such a tight schedule, na,
One
and I
second,
am also
Himakant sir is
putting
calling me.
in my best efforts, na, that
One
I'm
second,
feeling
please. 1 second, Anurag.
okay. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, Anurag, tell me.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, for me personally, sir, I am reading it for the first time. But within that tight, within that 5 hours, I have to, within the 5 days, I have to complete. So with that speed, I am doing. So it has made me feel confident that if I am given a 10-day schedule, na, then I will be able to complete the FR subject.
Correct. I mean, if there is a target,
Yes,
we get to understand that how it is to be completed. Like it becomes our strategy to complete it within the study. When we don't have a timeline,
right,
we don't have
right,
a like a target of a day or the target of the hour or target of the slot. We tend to give it give it a day also, and it is not completed. So that actually happens.
right, right, sir.
Good, good. I just hope that today's exam goes well. Just see how things are, and try to revise as much as possible what you have done. And also, I would say first complete the financial instrument, um, and then
Okay,
only like try and appear for the exam. Okay.
right. Sir, actually, day 4 targets also have to achieve because yesterday I did business combination and consolidation.
Okay.
Day 4 is
Okay.
entirely pending. So,
Mm, fine. Do in financial instrument first, I would say, and
okay,
then
sir.
do the day
Okay,
four target, whatever
okay.
is there, like do income taxes and employees benefit to the
Right, right.
priority, and then do the other if possible,
Okay,
or else leave
okay,
it and do give your exam. And make sure you do it.
okay, sir. Okay, okay.
Do the other chapter indices post your I mean during your AFM preparation, or maybe after that, not a problem.
Right, right, sir. Right, sir. Right, sir. Right. Okay, sir. Got your point, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Nikita,
Sir,
uh, how are you feeling? Like, I mean,
yes, sir. Few chapters are okay, but unable to cover a whole target, sir.
as in, like, whole
Business
target.
combi business combination, share-based payments, they are done question to question. But the others chapters are like few chapters have gone through concept and just a view of questions. For few other chapters, even it is
By
not possible.
writing, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
No, I mean, that is the target. Like, if you know the question concepts, if you know the you know how it is done, and you just shove the question, I guess for 5 days it is good to go because you need to pace it up as well. I mean, have a paste as well. Okay, that is fine. But you are done with day four and everything, right?
Day four targets are pending, sir. I
Full.
need to do. Not full, sir. Only half of the indays are done. The other half is yet to be done.
Okay. So try doing financial instrument first,
Yes.
and then start with the other which is remaining.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And then give your exam of 2 to 5.
Yes, sir, sure.
Who's there with you?
Sir, she's going only second group, sir. She's not
Okay.
going first.
And there's no one.
Yes.
Okay, Manya, can you please?
Yes, sir. Yesterday is 37. I said it was pending.
Correct.
Oh,
So leave that for now.
yeah.
Start doing financial instrument in the first half.
Yes.
Try to do that. And since you are in a good space,
Hmm.
try reading about operating segments and just finish it off. I mean, it will not take more than 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
And give your exam.
Sure, sir.
Okay, because I understand financial instrument will take some time. I'm not
Yes,
saying
yes.
to do earning per, I mean, Index 33, but make sure you actually do Index 33
Okay.
and the other indices which is there like fair value measurement even after reporting period. Then there's revenue from contract with customers, related
Hmm.
party, conceptual framework in the next set with AFM, or maybe after the exam also. Try continuing it. I'm not saying to complete it, at least continue and finish it with the other subject.
Yes, sir. It will be done.
Okay, great. Uh, Kalkish,
Yes, sir. Yeah,
uh,
I
how you
completed
feeling?
consult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got confidence, sir, but
Hmm.
50% of syllabus only completed. The whole 100% of syllabus, out of 100%, I completed 50% of syllabus.
Okay.
Yeah, but which chapters I completed, I am confident on that chapter, sir.
Confident on that now? Okay, fine.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
about
but
day four targets? You said you have not touched day four, no?
yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So try doing a
Only in
financial
the
instrument first,
okay,
and then have a sequence of income tax if you have in hand and employees benefit. Okay, for
okay,
today,
sure,
and then start with your exam.
sure, sir, sure, sir.
Give your exam from your, I mean, fill the EMT, and then we'll talk.
Okay, sure, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
Kushal. Okay, no problem.
Yes, sir.
What about how you feeling?
So the topics I have done, those I'm fairly confident about. Like I have tried my best to cover it from end to end, not leaving any questions aside. And as far as yesterday's target was concerned, as I informed you last night, that I was able to do income taxes only specifically from yesterday's target. And the other ones you had advised me to take it up starting from today, sir. But since now there's been a change of schedule with financial instruments coming in.
Yeah, you need to continue with financial instrument first and then do employees benefit. No need to do the other three this thing. You can just brush up on operating segment a bit, and if you have time you can do Index 21 if it is possible. However, you don't have time to complete that, it's okay. You can give your exam and then do the EMT and then try and solving whatever is left actually. I mean, as suggested, there are a few chapters which I have not mentioned here. I will be mentioning here maybe later tonight of what you need to actually do to cover up 100% of the syllabus. You
Okay,
might need to, it's a good pace that you have, and it's good thing. You need to combine these chapters with the other subject which you are doing to complete the syllabus as such. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir. Got it. Right.
Okay, guys. So all the very best. Have an amazing exam and prepare well for it. Think like this is your final exam. So I mean, just focus on those 3 hours, and I mean, do not you know see the answers, or maybe have any of the, I mean, do not have any distraction. Just have 3 hours like you give in your exam hall. Just think about this is your last exam that you're giving and give it like that. Okay. Okay, fine, guys. So, very good morning and start your day. All the best.